Kims.
Hello everyone, I am Jenny Axler and welcome to this next video in our series on the Sense Player. In this one, we're going to cover how to install and use third-party Android applications. With version 2.0 of the Sense Player software, we are including a mobile screen reader and the ability to install Android applications such as Audible, Netflix, Spotify, Apple Music, etc., so that you can continue to expand and enhance your use of the Sense Player as a modern multimedia streaming device. We have a lot to cover in this one, so let's get to it. So there are two ways to install applications on the Sense Player. We do provide an installer of what we feel will be commonly used applications and ones that we know work very well with the Sense Player. And that will be the easiest way to get some of the apps that you're going to want to install. I'm at the main menu and I'm going to arrow up.
All apps.
At the bottom of the main menu, we now have a new option called All Apps. This is where your Android applications will reside. When you first get your Sense Player or first upgrade to version 2.0, if you press OK on this,
App Installer.
The only item here is an app installer. I'm going to go ahead and press OK here, and FYI, you do want to make sure that you are connected to the internet before you open the app installer.
App Download Dialog. Apple Music 116 List Item.
Currently, this installer has 16 applications in it. This is, however, a dynamic installer. We keep these packages on our server, so we may continue to add to them as we discover additional compatible applications, etc., and we may remove or update apps as necessary. To navigate among the apps, I can press the down arrow.
Audible 216 List Item. Bard Mobile 3. Once. BBC Sounds Force. Chirp 516. Chrome 616 List. Dolphin Easy Read. Dropbox 8. Learning a Lot Audio. Netflix 10.6. Pandora 11. 012. Skype 13. Spotify 4. Zoom 15. Speak 16 List Item.
So as you can hear, most of the apps here are media, book, and communications apps. There are a couple of exceptions. One is the Chrome browser. The reason that we include the Chrome browser here is that you need the Chrome browser to sign in to many of these other applications. We do not expect that you're going to use this as a robust web browsing experience, and we haven't built it that way. This isn't a smartphone replacement. The options here are generally, as I mentioned before, to expand and enhance your use of the Sense Player as a multimedia device. And you can see that that's true for most of the applications that we include here in the installer. The other thing that you're going to find that's interesting is the eSpeak text-to-speech synthesis. You also need this for applications like Bard Mobile that require an Android native TTS to run. Again, this is not a smartphone replacement, and for that reason, this is not a Google certified device. It's a bit cost prohibitive to do that for this type of device, and so we don't. And that means that there are a few limitations, one of those being that Google services, like the Google TTS, are not supported. And so to accommodate that for applications like Bard Mobile that need to self-voice a few of the controls, we need to install a native Android TTS. So we do include the open source eSpeak TTS. However, most of the time you actually will not hear it speak, even in applications like Bard Mobile that need it. Generally, it's going to use our mobile screen reader with the nuanced voice that you have chosen. But for those specific places where you need it, you do need to install it. And so because I know I need that, I'm going to press OK on that. This is all you need to do to install an application is to press OK on it. So I'll do that now.
Download complete. Installing eSpeak. Installation complete. eSpeak.
And because it's a very, very small application, it didn't take any time at all. So I'm going to continue around
App installer.
here.
eSpeak.
And you now can see that in my All Apps menu, I have both the App Installer and eSpeak. Let's go back to the App Installer.
App Installer. App Download Dialog. Apple Music 115 list item.
Now you see I only have 15 items here, and I'll just press OK on Apple Music to install that.
Progress.
So some of these take a bit longer.
Progress. Download complete. Installing Apple Music. Installation complete. Apple Music.
And that is all there is to it. I'm again placed in my All Apps menu, and it now has Apple Music,
Speak.
eSpeak,
App Installer.
and the App Installer.
All apps.
So I've now exited to my All Apps menu. The other way that you can install applications is to sideload them, or rather just install them using the file manager. And we allow you to do this because you can install other apps than are available in the installer. However, one of the things to be aware of is that we don't have Google services, as I previously mentioned, and that this is probably going to cause some limitations. And with the app that I'm going to install, I will somewhat cover those and explain a bit about what some of those limitations can be. However, there is a lot of functionality to be had, and you can determine what works and what doesn't, sometimes with some experimentation. Of course, we're going to know some of these things too if you ask us. But in general, do be aware that this is meant to be a multimedia device. So let's take a look at this second method. I'm going to arrow down,
File Manager.
and I'm going to press the OK key,
File Manager. Flash disk list item.
and I'll press the right arrow here.
Apps list item.
I'm going to press the number 7 to jump to the bottom.
Web radio channel.ini.
An arrow
file
up.
type. Lookout 30 reveal 20,220,408.00 RC07 or MIB V7 AAPK unknown file type list item.
So you heard a lot of gibberish there, but what you heard at the end was APK, which is an Android package kit. These are the types of files that you are able to install. You can find these on sites like APK Pure, APK Mirror. You could also try and install something like the Amazon App Store and locate and install applications that way. However, to do it via the file manager, you just need to download the APK file, copy it to your flash disk, your SD card, or a connected USB drive, and then simply press the OK key on it.
Installing Lookout. Installation complete. Apps list item.
And once again, it is that simple. And if I press the cancel key
File Manager.
and arrow up,
All apps.
I'll press the OK key.
Amazon Alexa.
I have various applications here. I'll arrow down.
Amazon, Apple Music, Audible, Bardmo, BBC, Chrome, Dropbox, Easy Read, Envision, SP, Lookout, Netflix, Lookout.
And there is Google Lookout. And again, we will come back to this in a little while because it is somewhat interesting and challenging to use, but you can use it on the Sense Player. Now let's take a look at how to navigate and use these apps. I'm going to arrow up
Easy, Dropbox, Chrome, BBC Sounds,
to BBC Sounds, and I'll press the OK key.
BBC Sounds. Homepage.
And you do not have to live in the UK to use BBC Sounds. Anyone can sign up for a free account, and it is a fabulous resource for a lot of content. So navigating in third-party apps is slightly different. It's actually more like what you're going to do on your Android phone or iOS, or what you would do in Smart Connect, in that the left and right arrows are going to move between your items in a similar way to swiping left and right.
Button Radio 1. Button Radio and Dance. Button Radio 1 Relax.
And
Lose
with the
yourself
left
with.
arrow,
Button Radio and Dance. Button Radio 1. List Listen Live out of list.
but now I can use the up and down arrows to move to the item above and below my current position. This is an Android screen reader function that we've implemented, and it works extremely well in BBC Sounds. So if I arrow down,
List promoted item. List new trending. Music mixes. Moments in music.
and if I want to know what's in one of these sections, again, the right arrow.
Button the first time with Sinead O'Connor. Button play the first time with Sinead O'Connor, a tribute.
So what this allows you to do is move up and down through the various sections of the BBC Sounds app and use the left and right arrows to move through specific items in the app. And of course, I can just press OK to activate something. But this makes navigating this app so much easier. If you just continue to press the right arrow, you could get through every control on the page. But if you know what you're looking for, if you know you're looking for Listen Live, or you're looking for Promoted, or whatever it is that you want to do, you are able to easily get to that and then navigate the items within it. I'm going to go ahead and close this for now.
Selected tab home 1 of 5 in list. BBC Sounds.
And I'm going to arrow up to Bard Mobile.
Bard Mobile.
And I'll press the OK key to open that.
Bard Mobile. Image Bard Mobile splash screen. Nantucket. Books 1-4.
Now, it's telling me that I'm in a book that I was reading before. And now I have, again, similar options. If I arrow down,
7 chapter. Elapsed 27 hours. Slider 77. Button bookmark. Button next. Button fast forward. Button increase speed.
Now at the bottom there is actually a grid of 9 buttons. What you heard was next, forward, and increase speed. Now I'm on the speed controls, so if I press the left arrow,
button speed. Button decrease speed.
Now if I arrow up,
button rewind.
I'm on the transport controls, and if I press the right arrow,
button play. Button fast forward.
So I'm able to navigate the layout as it exists in physical terms with the arrow keys, but I want to show you a few additional controls. Let's arrow back up.
Button next. Button bookmark. Slider 70. Elapsed 27 hours, 31 minutes, 52 seconds of 35 hours, 30 minutes, 43 seconds.
So it let me know that this is the elapsed time, and if I arrow down, you heard the word slider.
Slider 77. Progress bar 27 hours, 31 minutes, 52 seconds of 35 hours, 30 minutes, 43 seconds. Swipe up or swipe down to adjust.
So sliders are a very common control in media applications, and you can adjust them on the Sense Player by holding the voice control button with the volume up and volume down buttons. So if I press voice control with volume down and do it again, now I'm going to arrow up.
Elapsed 23 hours. Slider 67. Progress bar 23 hours, 58 minutes, 14 seconds of 35 hours, 30 minutes, 43 seconds. Swipe up or swipe down to adjust.
Now, if I had been playing back the content at the time that I adjusted the slider, you would have heard the audio skip back to that location. However, it doesn't announce if you are in paused status, which I currently am.
Button fast forward.
So I'm going to press the left arrow.
Button play.
And the great thing about this is that you have instant orientation to your location. It's on the play key, and it's going to stay on the play key, even if you walk away and go do something else, if you haven't moved within the app. So let's say that you do get a phone call or something and you need to pause it. You can just press this OK key immediately, which isn't as easy to do on a touch screen. So I'll press the OK key.
Media control.
Harbor Master. I do. Winky face emoticon. So, Ariel
Nice,
bombarded
right.
Sabrina the moment she stepped from her room the next morning. Tell all.
Well, the things I read, I guess. Anyway, I just pressed OK to pause playback again. And as you can see, this is very instant and you don't need to think about it. We do, however, have global media controls if for some reason you're not located in the app. And this is specifically useful in something like Apple Music. You can use the same global media controls that you use in Smart Connect. You can press OK plus 0 to stop and start media playback, and OK plus hash and star to move to the previous and next track. Now, there is another thing that I want to show you in Bard Mobile that's somewhat specific to this app, but can be included in other applications as well. I'm going to press the left arrow.
Button rewind.
Now, the rewind control in Bard Mobile works similarly to our cumulative time movement in Daisy Audio, in Media Player, when you press and hold the left or right arrow. We don't use it quite that way in third-party apps. We emulate sending a start and stop hold with the number 0 in third-party apps, but it's basically the same function. So if I press the number 0 right now,
back 20 seconds, back 1 minute, back 5 minutes,
and I'll stop it, and you can hear that eSpeak stopped speaking, and you actually heard eSpeak speak. For most of this, you have been hearing our mobile screen reader, as I told you that you would. But there are a few things that Bard Mobile needs to self-voice, and for that, you will hear the Android TTS, which is eSpeak. This is one of those instances. And again, you use your 0 to start and stop hold. FYI, you can also use long press 0 to long press the current item. I am not going over every keystroke because this video is also very long. So the other quick things that I would like to point out are that you can use the numbers 1 and 7 to jump to the top and bottom of the screen.
Nantucket, Books 1-4.
And number 7.
Selected now reading, tab 4 of 4 and list, 4 items.
You can also use numbers 3 and 9 in an area like Apple Music, maybe the artist lists or a song list that's very long. This will work as your page up and page down or scroll up and scroll down keys. You can check the user manual for a complete list of the controls that we are able to use. This, though, will give you a general idea how to use apps. But one more thing before we wrap up. I want to exit this.
Please press back. Amazon Music. Amazon Alexa.
And I have Amazon Alexa here at the top of the list. I'm going to press OK here.
Amazon Alexa. Sense Player Launcher. Amazon Alexa won't run without Google Play services, which are not supported by your device.
So every time you open the Amazon Alexa app, along with several other apps, including Google Lookout that we just installed, you're going to get an error like this. And if I arrow down,
Button OK.
I have an OK button. And you would expect that when I press OK, the app will be closed. That's actually not true. I'll press OK.
Amazon Alexa.
And if I arrow to the right,
Button Help and Feedback. Button Activity. Button NPR News. Image Play button. Double tap to activate. Image 1, 2.
so you can hear that I have all of my normal controls. I'm actually now looking at my history and I'm able to reactivate some of the common things that I do. And if I say, Alexa,
Alexa.
what's the weather in
Cancel Ask
Daejeon,
Alexa
South
out of
Korea?
list.
Currently, in Daejeon, South Korea, it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today, you can expect thunderstorms, with a high of 94 degrees and a low of 75 degrees.
She
Friday,
actually,
July 28th, Daejeon, South Korea.
and now she's trying to show me, but she actually works just as you would expect her to work, for the most part. There are a few limitations. One of the things that I haven't heard pop up yet that will is that location services are not installed. This is another error that she's going to pop up, but it doesn't really affect too much. Notice that when I asked for the weather, I had to give her my location. She will not give me the weather for my location automatically because location services are not installed, as this is a part of the framework for Android that we don't have.
No network location
There it
provider
is.
installed. NLP is necessary for network location fixes.
That is exactly the error I meant. So these are really good examples of some of the things that you're going to encounter for many apps as a result of this not being a Google certified device. In some instances, you won't be able to use the applications at all. For example, something like YouTube, you cannot use. Chrome, you can. Google Lookout, currently you can, although I don't know if that will remain true over time. Applications that access Google services, like Amazon Alexa, may have some limitations or may give you these errors. You're going to have things like TTS, for example, if you've downloaded additional TTSs, those are often paid for via your Google Play Store account. And since you cannot log into that, you're not going to be able to access the voices that you may have purchased. So sometimes this is going to limit you in small ways and sometimes in very big ways. As I mentioned, though, we do intend for this to be a multimedia device, and that is our focus. It isn't a smartphone replacement, and you will find that if you experiment, you may have to deal with a few of the workarounds. You can guarantee that anything in our installer does work well and will not have errors like this. We know this one has been really long, and I do apologize for that. There is a lot to explain about running third-party apps. We hope that this gives you a general idea how things work. We know you may have questions. Please do consult the user manual and consult tech support if you do have issues. But we do hope you enjoy this expanded functionality. For more information about any of our HIMSS products, you can visit our website at www.himsintl.com or send us an email at hims@selvishc.com. Thanks for watching.